Hi, I'm Kerry, General Manager at Kunes Chrysler of Belvedere. Welcome to another episode of Kunes Car Convos. Today we're picking up super late model race car driver Max Kahler from the Rockford Speedway in our 392 Scat Pack Charger. So how old were you when you first started racing?
So when I was young, my dad raced late models at Rockford and Jefferson and all over the place. So I was always around it, always at the racetrack, always helping him on the car and stuff. So when I was maybe 7, he built a go-kart track in the backyard, and I started racing go-karts, or not racing go-karts, but practicing go-karts out there, just running laps, and begged him to let me race. He finally took me up to Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. I started racing when I was 8. And it kind of snowballed from there. Started going all over the place, racing go-karts. He still had the late model when I was 13, and he threw me in that, and we went up to Jefferson Speedway. Started racing up there, and it snowballed from there, and now we're racing super late models all over the place, but it's a lot of fun.
Very cool. So your dad kind of inspired you to race? Or was
Yeah.
is there another, outside influence on that as well too?
I'd say it was definitely just my dad, being around it all the time and, seeing what it's all about.
And did anybody else in your family race? Did your dad's father race or anybody else, or did your dad just kind of pick this up and is passing along to you?
No, my dad just picked it up, and like I said, I was always around it and kind of came to know what it's about and wanted to do it, so.
Nice. So what do you feel like when you're driving around the track in a race car?
Well, it's fast, a lot of fun, a lot of lateral grip. That's kind of the main thing. It's straight line speed's good, but through the corners is really where those cars, make up all their speed. It's a lot of fun and kind of like nothing, you can't compare it to a street car. I could rip this thing around here, but it'd be nothing like driving a race car.
So this isn't quite as fast as your race car?
No, not quite.
What are your future, you plan to go to NASCAR, or do you plan to make a career of this? Is this something that you just want to do for leisure, or is this something you want to make a career of?
I'd like to make a career out of it, for sure. We just need to go out and win a lot of super late model races, a lot of big races that get a lot of exposure to try and attract some, higher teams and put me in a ride.
Nice. So when I played sports in high school, I always had my lucky baseball belt that I always wore. So even in high school when we changed colors,
Yeah.
or Little League, I would always wear the same red belt, even if I was on a green team.
Right.
Do you have any superstitions or pre-game or pre-race rituals that you do?
Not really. I kind of have the same shirt that I like to wear on race day.
Yeah.
Now this shirt, I wear it until something bad happens. Say we wreck really bad or have a really bad night, then that shirt gets retired and we pick up a new lucky shirt. But other than that, there's really no other superstitious stuff. There's kind of a routine that I do before the race, whether that be, cleaning windshields or cleaning my helmet visor or, getting my drink bottle filled depending on how long the race is. But yeah.
If you could race against any NASCAR driver, who would it be?
Any NASCAR driver? I had to say probably Kyle Larson.
Okay.
He's probably the most talented NASCAR driver right now. He does all kinds of different discipline of racing, from dirt sprint cars, dirt late models. He's actually done some asphalt super late model stuff here and there. So that's probably my pick of who I'd want to race of any NASCAR guy.
Nice. And you've been around cars your whole life.
Yeah.
Your dad raced, your grandparents obviously had the car dealership for a really long time.
Yeah.
What kind of car is it that you drive? What model vehicle is it you drive? I know it's highly modified, but
The race car, you mean?
yeah, your race car.
Yeah, so it's a purpose-built race car. It's a Fury chassis is what it is. They're from North Carolina. Complete roll cage, all tubular roll cage. And it's got a Southern Parts motor is what they're classified as. Makes about 550 horsepower on a 2-barrel, 640 horsepower on a 4-barrel. But everything's custom race-wise. Nothing's off the street or off a street vehicle. And they're a lot of fun, but also a lot of expenses.
Yeah, I'm sure. What is the body though? Is it a Mustang, a Camaro, I think they even have like Camrys bodies that they use as well.
Yeah,
too.
but it's technically a Camry, but the only thing different on those bodies, manufacturer-wise, is just the front nose piece, just the way that it's molded.
Right.
The Toyota one, the only reason we run that is because it makes a little bit more downforce. That's the only difference, but yeah.
Awesome. So if you had any advice to any junior racers out there, what would it be?
Any advice? Let's see. Probably just work really hard at what you're doing. Racing and maintaining these cars, it's a lot of work. It's almost a full-time job on top of everything else. A lot of people don't realize that. Even throughout the off season, there's a lot of work that you do, whether it's maintaining, rebuilding, refixing stuff that wasn't fixed 100% throughout the season. And even throughout the season, there's week to week, you've got a lot of maintenance to do, whether that be brakes, changing suspension stuff, changing your setup from track to track. So it's a lot of work, and people coming up through the ranks just need to focus on that and do everything they can to get their cars prepared throughout the week and make sure nothing happens bad on race day.
Nice. Last question. What is like the highlight of your career so far? Like,
Highlight of my career.
big race that you won, or a whole circuit you won?
So my first answer to that would be winning the short track championships here in 2020. That was kind of a big win for me on the Super Late Model side of stuff. That's kind of what pushed me to run more Super Late Model races. But then last year we won the following 150 at Dells Raceway Park. And that was kind of a big turning point for us. We kind of had plateaued off on our Super Late Model stuff, and that really helped to get your energy high and get more excited for the upcoming races. So yeah, just hoping to go out and win some other big races this year. We've got a big race coming up this Saturday, the final Super Late Model race for the UMA Super Late Model Series up at the Dells, and we're currently leading points there. Hopefully we can do good this weekend and lock up the championship.
And this weekend's the championship?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep, twin features. The last race up there got rained out, so now there's twin 50s this week.
Awesome. Well, good luck. Hopefully you bring home the gold medal. And for my pleasure, can we do like one fast lap when we get back to the starting line?
I was waiting for you to say it.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. All right, we're good. What'd you think of the car?
I like it. It's not as fast as my Super Late, but it's fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Max.
You're welcome. That might have been a little bit more than you're in for, but I thought, hey,